Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, we're going through the cash cows for round 3 of the AFLW fantasy season, in which at least with the no break-evens on the website and using the break-evens from from Jaden's website, it does make it just a fraction bit harder to actually do, but I think it should still be easy to get the best plays out there and look at all of them, etc. before the round starts tonight. But anyway, let's just jump into this video here. As you see here, we got all the 300k price range players. I sort of am looking at the 300 and 400k price bracket because I don't think there's anyone in the 500k price bracket that you can really get. I think at that point, you really just need to start to, if you have them, start to look to offload them, etc., rather than grabbing them up at that price point. So Ramos here, 43 last week. I think she rebounded really well, and I think she's one that's especially starting to build into the game as well. I think she had a relatively poor performance against the Swans, but Collingwood were poor in general against them. Against Hawke, she had a 43. I don't know whether she'll necessarily play this week, but yeah, against Brisbane, tougher opponent, but at 343k, I think she's someone that I'm, along with a lot of the general 300k girls, I think she's one that I'm looking at going, I wonder if I can grab her up to just replenish the cash gen, but she's one at 342k that could easily get away from me, but she is a slow burner. If we go here to this, I need to remove the mid status here. Ramos here. 17 break even, so I suspect if she scores a 50 that she will probably get out of the price range. So in general, if she scores a 32, then she's probably within the price range that I need her. But I probably want more than that to really start generating some more cash. So she's probably one that's going to fall out of the break even bracket I was looking at. If we look at the Collingwood, I don't know if she's been involved in any CBAs or whatnot. Ramos 28%, so she got a little bit better role. So yeah, she is someone that you could potentially look at this week, but I think you still hold strong with another week of Goody, Breed, Goring, or Window. Those sort of 4 are the big 4 mids. Smith here, 356k, dropping in price a little bit after I'm pretty sure she had a stinker against against the Giants. Against Port, 43. 356k. If we go to Smith here, you'll see break even of 22. So a similar sort of scenario with that of Ramos, that she might just be out of the price range by the time that we need her. If we need to swap maybe a Serene Watson out, but she is an option to swap a Serene Watson out. I think at 356k you bank 100k, but I think I'm looking at more bigger maneuvers this week, and next week she could be one that lines up. Hartill, 380k, Ruck, 42, first game of the year plays for Brisbane against Melbourne. Plays Collingwood this week. That could be an interesting decision there. Let me go to Brisbane and their CBAs. Let's look at this. Hickey's doors. Hartill, 27% backing up Hickey. That's a good thing there. I'm just trying to think, did anyone actually... Yeah, Cohen and they have Mullins doing the CBAs. How did they... Oh, sorry, Hickey was at 62, so they had just a Taylor Smith, I'm guessing, doing the CBAs there to back her up. But yeah, Hartill could be an interesting one. I think she's just going to get away from us. But yeah, she could be definitely an interesting ruck to go to, priced at 380k. I was looking at Watts potentially, but I think that Hartill could be definitely an interesting ruck that I haven't sort of thought about. But if she does play, and I think that if we just go to Hartill here, there, let me just see what she averaged in the past. Similar numbers in the past for 20, so I'd probably risk it on another player, to be honest with you, then go Hartill, just because this backup ruck role I don't think is as... does score her that well, even though you can just remove a 9 and an 18 from last year's numbers of 8 games, which 8 games for 26 is what? 208 minus 8 and a 9 and an 18. That's what? 181 divided by 6, so that's sort of a 30 range. Can she average 30? Is that really going to do much damage for Hartill? I don't think so. A 30 isn't going to do much price. So... yeah, I'd probably take a risk on other players there. Dunn 40. You know, a lot of these players, once they sort of get, especially having played 2 games, once they sort of get out of this, have one good game, they sort of already jump out of the 300 to 399k price bracket. So yeah, Dunn, what did she do in the first game? 28 and 40. I would say maybe, but then again, she does have a double, which she should be able to gain some good cash in, but I think she's just one that isn't going to generate enough cash in general. Priced at 28. If she goes 34, she gets 43k. I don't think that's too relevant. McLennan, she put up a 39 on the weekend. So yeah, she went up 14k, reversing a little bit of what she did against in a horror game against the Eagles. I don't think she'll have much relevance. Franklin is someone that I'm looking at for next week, especially if we look at Franklin. She might just be low enough in the like if she scores a 50, she's only priced at like 420. So yeah, I think that Franklin is one that I'm definitely considering and just thinking about, is she going to be priced around the right price range? You got Adams here, 38 on 50% game time, just needs more game time. Golovin here, an 8 and then a 37. Colvin, sorry, not Golovin, Colvin. Colvin is probably another defender that if she gets off the chain again, that she isn't going to be too far ahead. If we look at, again, a score of 50 goes up 87k. So yeah, I think that she could be one that we consider in the coming week. But not this week. Ryan, Davies, Grundon, Borg, none of these girls really scored high enough to really be considered, other than I would say maybe Cleaver, just because she will generate cash. She has the double early, so her and Hartle are probably ones that you're sort of slightly considering. And given that West Coast, it's going to be down back a lot, I expect her to potentially get a lot of the ball in the next little bit. Then we get to probably the juicy part of this video, which is the 400k range. McCormack, a 32.73, went up 138k. I don't think she'll have much relevance, to be honest with you. But those who started the double GW West rucks are probably laughing, given that they've gained somewhere close to like 600k or something so far. 153 from McCormack, and I think close to, sorry, no, it's more about 450k, but it will be 600k next week. Schilling, another one that I think has been very, very common trade in this week. 68 after a 22. I keep on muddling my stuff up here. And Schilling, yeah, as you see here, lowest break even. If she goes and scores a 50, which I think is replicable, then she'll go and go up 110k. There's the cash gen. So yeah, she's just doing pretty well there at that price point. Then you get Simpson here, scored a 60. If we look at that, she's averaging 51 on the year after a 42 in round 1. So she scored pretty well. If we just go to Simpson here, I think she's going to be 17 break even. If she scores another 60 or so, she'll go up, honestly, roughly about 120k, I would say 130k, which will be a pretty good rise out of her. Then you have Brazil, scored a 59 as a forward here. I just don't think she will consistently score enough. So I would be just not going there. I think if I just look at the, if we just go back to the CBAs here, I just want to check with Brazil. With Fremantle here, because I don't think Brazil's gotten any CBAs, but I could be wrong. No CBAs for Brazil. So yeah, I wouldn't be going there. Lavi here plays Sydney after a 58 last week. I just think she's too expensive at this point, 492k. Barwick here is going up 151k. This was probably the other rookie that you really wanted out of the backline alongside Finn. That would have gained you a lot more cash than Serene Watson's gotten so far. You would have gained 110k on Serene Watson. But yeah, she's done really well, and you probably can hold her for another week before chucking her, given that she's probably got another really low break even of, I would say, in the teens. Yeah, 17 break even. So if she goes and scores another 50, she'll go off another 95k, and at 540k, that's when you can sort of start to think about jumping off. Bolts, Antonio, if we look at those two, Antonio's dropping massively in price after a 12 in week 1, and then scored a 52. She'll be one to, I think, watch. I don't think she's been getting any CBAs, no. So I think she's just one to watch if she gets extremely cheap. I don't know what her break even is at the moment. Antonio, there we go, 30 break even. So yeah, she should start to rebound in the next little bit. Weston, another one that I think has been brought up a little bit. 32.52. I think she's just I think she's there or thereabouts. But at 475k, I don't know if there's that much of value there at the moment. Hammond, another defender here, 51. I just don't know if there's at 414k though. Hammond here, if she can rebound another this week, then she'll be doing pretty well. If we look at Hammond here, priced at 32, average 32, break even 27. I just don't know if there's value there, to be honest with you. And honestly, that's about it for the really sort of lowish. I mean, you have Customer here as well, that if you jumped on her, you would have done pretty well. But outside of that, you don't really have anyone else that I'm looking at here going, they're really outstanding. If we look at the average for the last 2 games, just looking at average here, can't really see anyone that's really scored low in week 2 that should be really, maybe Gaylor a little bit. Maybe she'll return and rebound against St Kilda, who seem to be a decent side, and Kivett is doing pretty well as well. So I'm just going to look through here quickly and just at these low break-evens on Jaden's website and just go through and who I think is good. Shealing, we talked about her. Dana Finn in the 500k bracket, break-even of 14. She's going really well. And she's just going to make more and more cash, which is really handy, given that we probably need her to get her way up to sort of that 700, 800k range, just so that if I quickly just go back here and show you the where is it here? The spreadsheet, sorry, the Excel document about it. If I go there you go. That should open up to that, to here. If we look at this, we're looking at Carlton here in round 5. I'm looking at Dana Finn and going, we're currently here. She has this game, and then a double. So she's got 4 more price movements, in my opinion. If she scores 60 in each of those movements, I wouldn't be surprised if she goes up. 61 goes her up 135k. So that gets her to 670k. She goes and scores a 60 again. She's probably, because 60 is priced at around about, if I'm led to believe, that's priced around about 780k, give or take. At the preseason, 777 was roughly about 60 average. If she's going 60, 60, 60, she's going to go up to around about that 780k. And then you can just use her, a rookie, and another primo midfielder, and you can swap that primo midfielder onto a round 6 primo midfielder. That would be, just looking at here, Gold Coast, maybe a Whitford, maybe a McDonald, Fremantle, Essendon, maybe a Prasparkas, jumping off maybe a Conti or something like that to a Prasparkas might be the way to go, or something like that. We'll have to wait and see who sort of pans out as that primo midfielder. Or maybe a Laura Gardner at that point. Maybe you go Laura Gardner as well as a McAvoy, who's been really good, and I think McAvoy will score pretty well. And you can jump Dana Finn to that, plus also get some cash in the bank potentially. I don't know exactly, but those are just sort of my thoughts with Dana Finn, is that she'll probably last till after the double, and then you'll upgrade her then. McCormack Hendry as well, 387k defender. I think I just missed this one here. She's probably going to be, this is the week to grab her at 387k. O'Dowd, she's doing O'Dowd type things. If she scores another 75, then oh my, she's going up. But if she goes even higher than that, if she somehow scores a 100, then she will almost be primo status. Like, she will be legitimately primo status. That'll be 136 points, 236. That'll be close to 77 average, 78 average by then. So yeah, she'll be probably, at that point she'll be priced at, because if you look at that, let me just check what the 594 divided by 46 is. That's, 594 divided by 46 is 12.91. So yeah, that is roughly around the same magic number that the preseason was around as well. So yeah, she'll be priced at, I don't know exactly what that would be, but it'd probably be priced about 66, but being valued at about 78 or something like that. So yeah, she'll be very, very valuable still in the future if she can go absolutely humongous in the next week. Talked about Ramos. Harkin is one that I'm definitely looking at. If she can put up a big score this week, even a 50, I think that 50 will get her cash gen rolling. but also it will allow people to jump on. If she goes 75, I still think at that point you can almost jump on if you get a little bit lucky with your cash breaks, etc. Chloe Adams, another midfielder that you could potentially jump on, not only this week but next week, because she's going pretty well. Barwick, Goering as well. That was really annoying that I missed out on like 100 and something, 80k in cash gen, something like that, 90k in cash gen. She's off to the races now with hers. Franklin, she did pretty well. If she scores another 50, she'll go up 92k. That'll still be within the range almost. Piper Window, you can see here 19 break even. You can see if she scores a 50, she goes up 92k. If she scores a 75, she goes up 164k. But yeah, she could really just, if she gets the time on ground, she could go off. So I'm really looking at that. And then I don't think there's anyone else here really that you can look at and go, yeah, I need you immediately because your scoring's been off the charts. I think that you just get to wait a week here. As we sort of are regenerating, a lot of us are maneuvering primo and sort of spreading out the cash to generate 2 or 3 primos, especially because our rookies didn't hit. But anyway, that pretty much is the video. They're going through all the cash cows for round 3 and going through who I think is probably the best ones to bring in, as well as the best ones to watch and wait, because I think a lot of people will be dumping their big primo mids in the next week or two to upgrade on field, because on field points are huge. But anyway, that is the video there, and if you did enjoy it, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload in the future. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.